Tara, do you need paper?
You need some paper?
No.
Could all please stand for the flag salute? Charlie, can you lead us on your way up?
I was in the military. We never did this in the military. So I'm going to mouth it and you guys can jump in, okay? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America,
one nation,
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You need to write it up for
It's
you.
interesting.
It's Googleable. You only do that in the second grade.
Okay.
Next time we'll give you a trumpet.
The next item on our agenda is to read our mission statement. So I'll ask Tara, our secretary, to do that.
Hi, I'm Tara Ibarra, and the mission statement for M.A.T.H is the Middletown Area Town Hall was formed to operate as a true town hall, with everyone participating in voting. However, county officials required us to elect a board to conform with other county advisory committees. Our bylaws specify that the board makes decisions based on a vote of everyone present. The board encourages all members to give their opinions and vote on every matter before the assembly.
Thank you. And with that, we're ready to, actually, before we move to the approval of the agenda, I would like to just quickly introduce our board. So starting on my far left, Charlie, if you can say hello and introduce yourself real quick.
Charles Morse, and I guess I started doing this in January. Oh, good. I didn't really want to do it.
Closer?
So, okay. What kind of introduction do you really want?
A very brief.
Okay.
Name is good.
Yeah. Charles Morse, been doing this since January, so this will make like a fifth. That means I got like 19 more of these to go. And I'm just happy to be here, and I will be here at least 19 more times, I hope. That's all.
Nanette DeDonato. Did you get me? Oh, Nanette DeDonato.
Bill Wade from Hidden Valley Lake.
Tara Ibarra, Secretary.
And I'm Monica Rosenthal, the chair. So now we'll move on to the approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, we'll move on to the April meeting minutes.
Motion to approve pending being able to read them. I haven't seen them. And they're not back there.
Here, take my copy.
Okay. So, and that brings me to, I know our room isn't too full this evening, but I understand that there perhaps was a little bit of a problem with receiving the agenda. So show of hands real quick as far as who received the agenda, who did not, who received it. Let's do that first. Okay, I got like two. Okay, who did not? Yeah, okay. So we've got to work out that situation. So why don't we go ahead and table the minutes, and we'll take a look at those and approve them at our next meeting. Okay, so we'll move on to public input. Anyone may speak for 3 minutes on a topic not on the agenda. Do we have any announcements?
Oh, I guess I'll go. I had a meeting last month with Mike Thompson. There's a couple of things that he brought up and with the changes in the White House, and one is VA and whether or not we're going to even have a Veterans Administration. So if when the next time comes around for approving the VA bill, it's probably important that you start writing your congressman or Washington D.C. because the general threat is that they want to tax people who make more than $743,000 a year, and they're looking at VA as one of the places where they're going to take the money and use it to give people a tax cut. So it's kind of near and dear to my heart. I did 31 years in the military. Another thing is we have an open VA group for anybody, PTSD, not PTSD. Got a problem with your old man or your wife and you just want to get away and talk to somebody at the town hall in Lower Lake, and that's from 3 to 4:30 every day. All you got to do is be a veteran and you can walk in. It's at the old bank down there. And that's pretty much what I've got for now. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Nanette?
Our annual senior chili cook-off may be postponed because we don't have enough people to make chili. So if you know anybody, tomorrow's the deadline. If we don't get enough, we need at least 5 people to make chili. If we don't get it, then we're either going to cancel or postpone. And this is a fundraiser for the senior center. And as you alluded to, with the change in administration, one of the things they're cutting is senior centers, about 38%, I was told.
Yeah.
So we really need the funds.
What's the criteria for the volunteers? How much chili they got to make? Do they bring it from home? How's that work?
You cook it there,
Okay.
and I'm going to refer to Fletcher, yeah.
You got to make 3 gallons.
3 gallons.
3 gallons, and that's for
Can't hear you.
Well, let's say our PEG TV folks can't hear
you cook
you.
it on site, and that you have enough for the testing, for the tasting, for the judges, and then 3 gallons for the general public to taste. They buy tickets from the senior center, then they present the ticket to the chili people, and they get a little container of chili. So it's not just a good program. It's a heck of a good fundraiser for the senior center. It's a lot of fun. We have vendors, we have music, live music, and it's going to be too bad if we have to postpone it.
Don't forget the salsa.
Oh yeah, the chili cook-off is $1,000 for first place, and it's also salsa. So if you make salsa, you can go and make salsa, and if you win first prize, it's $500. So, if you're interested, see me after the meeting, and I'll get your name and everything. We're down to it. We got to get something by tomorrow afternoon, and we're gonna have to postpone it. And
Is there any rules like beans, no beans?
It doesn't matter. Chili with beans, chili, no beans, we don't care.
Vegetarian.
Can it be Yugoslavian? Can it be
Vegetarian.
Yugoslavian chili?
Yugoslavian chili is just great.
Okay.
Do you get to, do audience members get to taste the chili and the salsa?
Say again?
Do we have to bring our own chips?
No, you don't bring your
Okay.
own chips. We furnish that.
You buy tickets?
Is there a limitation on whether you have to pick, do you have to pick that you make salsa or chili, or can you potentially make both and potentially
Both.
win
You can do
both
both.
prizes? Cool.
You can do both. There's an entry fee, but if you come in right away, I'm sure we can get it waived. It's a fundraiser for the senior center, but it's also a lot of fun for the community. This is our 8th annual. I started it in 2015, right after the fire. So
And we have vendors too.
How many people have signed up so far, Butch?
so
many
far,
people?
I think they have 2
Oh,
cookers. So,
We need a minimum of 5, correct?
yeah, minimum 5, I think Lori said. So, anything I can do to help you, let me know. Yes,
Can I borrow your can opener?
sure. I'll come over and open them for you.
Thank you. I also want to mention that we have Middletown Days coming up in June, and I would like this body to consider that event and how we may participate or help out, especially with, I know that Mama, the Middletown Merchants, is going to be involved as well, and maybe there's something we can do in teaming up as a partner. So we can discuss that at the next meeting, but just wanted to put that out there. Anybody else? We are on public input.
Yes, I wanted to send out an invite to everyone for the January 14th Freedom Feed potluck. June 14th Freedom Feed potluck. It'll be at the Rainbow Church of Living Light, and there is just bring a plant-based dish. Doesn't have to be organic, but we will have an organic section, so if you prefer organic, you can contribute to that instead. And should feed 6 to 8 people, and bring your eating utensils, and we'll all have a nice musical enjoying event. Carlos will be playing, no doubt, or perhaps some other talented musicians. So come on down for that. It's free, and everyone's welcome to be our church's guests.
Thank you. Any other comments under public comment? No. Yes. Thanks for joining.
Hello. Lisa Kaplan from the Middletown Arts Center. I just wanted to tell everybody that this is a really good time to go to Trailside Park to look at the artwork because it's still a little bit green. I mean, it's starting to get yellow, but it's still green. And there's a lot of nice work there. We have some work to do to tidy things up a little bit, but still the artwork is there and it's nice to see. And it's great when people go to the park, and so go, please. It's open dawn to dusk daily. It's free to the public, and it's nice. So that's it. And it goes two ways. It's like an 8. Anyway, please go enjoy. And there's more information on the website. You can use your QR code to get there and find out more about each piece. Thank you.
Thank you. And I noticed we have a representative from CAL FIRE in the audience. Hi.
I'll just introduce myself real quick.
You have to come up to the mic, yes. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I did want to give you the opportunity to address the group, if you'd like.
No problem.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Josh Lau. I'm the fairly new battalion chief to the area for South Lake County Fire Protection District and CAL FIRE. Okay. I'll try it again. Can you hear me? All right. My name is Josh Lau. Fairly new battalion chief to the area over here at South Lake County Fire Protection District and CAL FIRE. My boss, Paul Duncan, and then also Chief Wing. So work alongside of them. We had a great event last 2 weeks ago for the open house, 100 year. I think we had over 550 folks visit. And then also a lot of other things that we're doing too. So just to be aware, we have fully staffed right now. We're waiting on tankers to come in to Santa Rosa Air Base, I think in 2 weeks now. The copter's already up. It's been working every day. I was on a fire on Highway 29 off of Murphy Springs, Canterbury, and then you've probably seen we're burning at Dam Road. So we're doing 33 acres there. So anyways, nice to meet everyone and have a good evening.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll move on to, and thank you, Helen Owen, District 1 Supervisor, for joining us this evening as well. Do you have a few words you'd like to say, Helen, before we move on?
I didn't really prepare anything, but yeah,
We have 3 minutes.
Thank you. High tech. I just want to say kudos to Josh. He's doing a fabulous job. I've been seeing him at a lot of meetings, and he's who I'm reaching out to say where do the Firewise and people need to work. So he's been a huge conduit. Really appreciate him. He's doing a great job. I should probably announce Mr. March is here with us tonight. Mr. Glenn March, he's our Director of Public Works. And one of the new and exciting things that he's going to be bringing forward, are you going to talk about that, or you're just going to talk about he's going to be looking at whether it's feasible, whether we would support like a penny tax or a half-cent tax or something for our roads. And we want to put that only towards roads. It was something that I brought forward. He's taking the ball and he's going to check and do a survey, right? And you can explain it more later. So, but the way I wanted it to design was roads only. Right now, we don't have the funding to deal with our county roads. We don't have enough income coming in. Number of different reasons, from better gas mileage, which is a good thing, electric vehicles, et cetera, et cetera. So we've got to get creative on how we can take care of our infrastructure. I wanted this to go only for roads, and it can't be hijacked by any other department for any other thing. So I'm not doing a straight infrastructure, which means it will take 66.1% to pass rather than 55%. But in that way, it safeguards it. So there's going to be a survey coming out on that. Right now, I have a meeting tomorrow. I know he's sending a representative, and with Mr. Fletcher on the and the Community Service District for the Coyote Valley Road, trying to see if we can find a way to connect it into the new Valley Oats project. While right now it's in the planning, and they're getting busy starting with that. I think 70-something homes is the first phase. There's 74 homes, the first phase that they're going to be adding into by Grocery Outlet. And it looks like we're looking for a spot to bring Coyote Valley Road and hook into that, because that's like going to be 380 homes in that area, and we don't want to further congest Hartman Road and Coyote Valley Road at its current entrance, as if anybody has been out there at school time, it is crazy. I see Zoe in the back, so she'll be at the meeting tomorrow as well. Our board president for Middletown, or Middletown Unified School District, she's our board president. So we've been working hard trying to get these people together to get something in place. And this started out many years ago as an emergency exit for the Coyote Valley School, and now I'm on the board, and we rethought it and thought, why don't we just have it go all the way through for safety? So I think my time's probably up, right?
Can you get us your email to send you pictures of our road?
Yes, and actually, I'm going to refer you to Mr. March, and I would like to be tagged in any emails. I'm trying to keep track of that also. And he gave me a list of all the roads countywide. I told him it would be easier to mark off the ones we don't need. Read out. So the funding, because as you know, for instance, you know, the electric vehicles aren't paying into it. We only get a portion of our gas tax. Part of that is the tribal stations don't pay into that. So that's 75 cents a gallon that we're not getting. So and that's not the only thing. You know, there's many different things, and so we just cannot afford, and our infrastructure is going down, down, down. So, and that has been my biggest complaint, is roads, by probably almost everybody here in the room. So I'm looking at what can we do and exploring options. The really cool thing, which Mr. March will be able to explain better, will be the grants that we can access and the free money we can get, basically because we will become a self-help, county, and it would be for the unincorporated areas only, because the incorporated 2 cities are already doing this and have already passed it and making leadways on their roads. We are not. So we would be a self-help county, therefore we would be eligible for a lot of grants that we at this point cannot get.
I got a question real quick. Has anybody voluntarily asked?
I'm going to stop. Because we really don't. I know we did that in the chili cook-off, but the 3-minute deal where there is not a Q&A time. So, but Helen will be here, and we can ask questions. And Helen is also going to be at the Middletown Luncheon Club at the Senior Center right next door in June. I believe that's June 18th. So, and that's a good time to ask questions back and forth during.
If you a card, you're welcome to reach out to me. I try to make myself very accessible. That's
Okay. And then we also will be looking at putting our District 1 supervisor on the agenda for June or July to give us a state of the county update, and we can hear more about projects and ask questions at that time. Yes, Mr. Thornton.
Thank you. Fletcher Thornton. Since Supervisor brought it up, I wanted to speak toward the new tax. There's no question that we need money for our roads. We all know that. It's how we're going to raise that money and make sure it's used for our roads.
Okay. Can I break for just a minute? Mr. March, are you going to be discussing this also?
I will.
Or, yes. So why don't...
Since I've been put on the spot, I will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not on the agenda.
Well, it is Mr. March will be discussing it, and then we can have Q&A during his presentation, if you wouldn't mind. If we can.
I would, because only to the extent that I want to make a point, make a statement. It won't take long. When I found out about the taxes and all that, and Mr. Marsh wanted to raise some money, I'm all in favor of that, providing it goes. Now, one thing you should realize is that you raise taxes on the county. It goes right to the gas station, and that price goes up. Part of our problem is that we all the money that the county and the state gets on taxes, the tribes don't have to pay it. So when you raise taxes here, is that going to force more people to go to the casino or to the tribes to buy gas? So, and I figured out, I know that they use a minimum of 2 loads a day. On a monthly basis, that's $853,000 that is lost revenue on taxes because of the no tax for tribes. I'm not advocating taxing them. I'm just saying that's how much money is lost by the county by not being able to get any road tax, because the taxes, the gas is brought from many places here in California, shipped to Nevada, and then shipped back, so they don't have to pay tax on it. So,
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and close public input, because it sounds like we are ready to move into our speaker, into the presentation by our speaker this evening, who is Glenn March, as we've all been introduced to already. Glenn March is the Director of Public Works, and come on up to the, would you prefer to sit here, or?
I'll stand.
You sure?
Maybe I'll
Yeah.
take questions there.
Here.
All right.
You can just sit right here.
Very good.
Right ahead. But then you have to ride. So it's like a
Oh, shoot. Good evening, everyone. Since I've been placed on the spot by Supervisor Owen, I will discuss potential sales tax for road improvements. So everyone pays gas tax, and that goes to the state, or tax on their gas, and it goes to the state, and it gets redistributed to agencies as what they call HUDA or SB1 funds. So we would receive funds from other counties in the state from their gas tax. So we do not, our gas tax money does not go to the state and come back to us. They distribute it based on formula, it's a formulaic distribution. So we get our share calculated by the state, and so we use that to rehabilitate our roads and pay for our staff. As far as the direction from the board that I received at our last board meeting, I was directed by the board to look into whether or not it's feasible to implement a sales tax to pay for roads specifically, solely, or transportation improvements. That may be roads, bridges, So we have decided as staff to look at what kind of revenue we could get if we did a 25% sales tax, or 0.25%, a half a percent sales tax, a 3/4% sales tax, and a 1% sales tax. Currently, Lakeport and Clear Lake have a 1% sales tax that on sales. So sales at grocery stores, convenience stores, shopping centers. So that would come directly to the county if that would pass. And the reason why we want to do it for, have it specifically used for roads is it provides funding opportunities that we don't currently have. In particular, there is something called Caltrans Local Partnership Program, where we would get a sum of money every year just because we had a sales tax. I think Clear Lake gets about $300,000 each year. But the big thing is it provides us the opportunity to seek LPP competitive grants. The state puts aside $72 million annually for cities and counties in the state for transportation projects. $72 million is a huge amount of money for any grant. So we seek federal grants that may have $20 million in them, in many communities go after them. So $72 million is a significant amount of money that the state makes available to cities and counties in the state. Also, another opportunity, Clear Lake use their money, their revenue from the sales tax to pay for bonds, to pay back bonds. So you can see a significant amount of infrastructure work, roadway work in Clear Lake that's been happening over the past year or two, and that will continue to happen. And that was, I believe, money generated from bonds. So it creates a lot of opportunities for roadway improvements. And you may be aware that the Board of Supervisors, I believe 2 years ago, adopted a work plan for the county roads that would raise the PCI index up to 40. PCI is pavement condition index. So currently we're in the mid to low 30s as a pavement condition index. So to get it up to a 40 in 10 years, it would cost $12 million per year, which is a huge amount of money because we collect about $3 million per year that can be used for infrastructure. So we have a $8 to $9 million shortfall for that to implement that plan. So that is a concern. And unfortunately, people have expectations we're going to deliver that plan, even though we are $8 million short annually. So the board has asked me to bring a short-term plan to the board of what I intend to use our $3 million per year on. And that will be going to the board as part of a package of several different things before the end of July. So you may want to look out for that. Okay. How'd I do, Helen? Supervisor Owen? Did I cover the tax? Okay, why I came here today was to talk to you about there's 4 significant plans that the county or the Lake APC and the county are working on. They're long-range planning documents that are important for getting funding through grants. So it's important if the county, it lists their priority of projects. So if we apply for a grant, we always reference if it's in one of our plans. So what I want to do is talk to you about the 4 different plans and how we get projects into those plans. The first plan is the county's multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan. I encourage you to look at the draft plan on the Lake County Sheriff's website. That lists projects that are important to minimizing or mitigating damage in fires and other events, other emergency events. So it's important that if you have any projects, or if you believe a project should be included that is not included, that you reach out. I would encourage you to reach out to both the sheriff's office and me with what might be missing and that you think should be added. So it's really important. Right now, our hazardous mitigation grant program has a call for projects, and we are considering what projects to apply for grants right now. So those are very important grants to sort of mitigate future damage. The next,
If I could ask a question real quick, so where would we look at, on the sheriff's site, you said?
Yeah.
To,
hazard mitigation plan. If you look for Lake County Sheriff, there's the 2025 multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan. So the the draft multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan addresses projects in the county and both cities. Prior to that, the county just had a standalone plan, but the counties and cities got together and created a joint plan that covers all jurisdictions.
If it's okay, I had one additional question. You said that you would like everyone to go in and kind of see what's missing and submit what they would like to be added. Is there a deadline for that?
I think the deadline is passed.
That's
But
it.
please submit them, please reach out to them as well as me. My deadline has not passed because I have an in. So, no, I think it's important that if you didn't get the opportunity, you do take advantage of me and allow me to submit the forms necessary to get projects included. Okay. Our next project, our next plan is the 2026 Regional Transportation Plan Update. So the Regional Transportation Plan discusses or identifies projects throughout the county that are of regional significance. The projects that I intend to propose are addressing our roads that connect interstates or state routes. So that would be Bottle Rock Road, Red Hill Road, Nice Lucerne Cutoff, and there's some work in Lucerne along Route 20. And so if you have ideas about what you think should be added, I am happy to hear about it. The projects that were on there previously were the South Main Street and Soda Bay Road widening projects, and they'll continue to stay on until they're finished. So the ATP, I'm really looking for your input, and the Lake APC is looking for your input. These are multimodal transportation projects. So typically, these projects address roads, paths, bicycle paths, horse paths, pedestrian improvements, transit improvements. So currently, on the current plan, the Middletown improvement projects, ATP projects, include the Bush and Pine Street pedestrian and bicycle improvements, pedestrian improvements throughout the town of Middletown. Let's see. And those are the major ones. So we haven't done the best job in the past to identify projects and work with the community, and that's one of the reasons I'm here, to work with the community and find out what your concerns are and how can we identify that into a project that we can include in the ATP, Active Transportation Plan. One I intend to add is multi-use path between Middletown and Hidden Valley. And I would like your input once we get the opportunity to provide input about other projects. And the last report or plan that we intend to update is what they call the Local Road Safety Plan. So the Local Road Safety Plan is intended to identify projects to minimize or reduce the likelihood of serious injuries and deaths, fatalities on our roads. So that has not been open yet. After the beginning of the fiscal year, the Lake APC will be hiring a consultant to update the plan. And you should keep an eye out for that plan after the July 1st, or I would say in the fall, and you'll give the opportunity to provide input. And if you're curious about accidents and incidents on our roadway, there is a website that's called the TIMS website, Traffic Incident Management System. It's a Berkeley product that collects all the report data from our emergency responders and police. And it's a GIS system, so there'll be a dot for each incident, and you can click on a dot and find out the injuries or the fatalities that may have occurred at that point.
And then that Sheriff's Department, Fire Department, all of them are fed into this program?
I know the sheriffs and the police departments are, and I'm uncertain whether the fire departments are. So, but it's a robust database. It's www.tims.com.
At what point can we express some of the issues that Middletown's facing?
When we're done, I'll be done
We
shortly.
need to use the mic, so for everybody in the audience, so if you do have a thought or a question, please move around the room here. Or does Thomas have a roaming mic?
I do.
Okay. So 3 projects that have been talked about in this forum over and over and over again over the last at least 5 years have been missing stop signs in town.
Correct.
Okay, that seems to fall under your local road safety plan.
Correct.
Project. Also, flashing crosswalks. This is something that directly impacts the highways that run through Middletown. We have people driving through here excessively quickly. They don't see the crosswalks, or they just don't stop, and it's very hazardous for pedestrians. As a pedestrian myself, I can tell you I have been I've seen so many cars blowing the crosswalks. There doesn't seem to be any law enforcement, so people do it with impunity. At least having flashing crosswalks would, prevent the people who aren't seeing the crosswalks from just blowing through. We do have quite a lot of visitors to town. They may not even know those crosswalks are there. And then also the Dry Creek Bridge pedestrian and bike lane facility. You might be aware that on Highway 175 going out of town, there's a bridge over a creek that is often dry called Dry Creek. Well, there's very little space for a pedestrian to cross over that bridge and not go into traffic lanes or a bike. So children that are walking to school or bicyclists or pedestrians that are trying to get to the Trailside Park we recently lost actually a bicyclist on the road who was hit by a truck. We really do feel as though there's a need for some accommodation there, possible widening or just some kind of additional facility to accommodate pedestrians and bikes on that bridge.
Is there a cross street near it?
Just
or it's Dry Creek Road?
Dry Creek Bridge.
Over Dry Creek Road? Dry Creek
So
Road?
it's Highway 175 where it intersects Dry Creek.
So it's Highway 175
Yes,
bridge?
where
Okay.
it intersects Dry Creek. And also there's a missing crosswalk at the corner of Bush and Highway 175. There's no crosswalk there. There's what they call an unmarked crosswalk. And unmarked crosswalks, while you can legally cross as a pedestrian, it does confuse a lot of motorists, and a lot of motorists aren't familiar with the concept of an unmarked crosswalk.
So if I can respond to that real quickly. Any project on 175 or 29 is a Caltrans project, so your flashing beacon concerns would be, I understand they're currently being addressed as part of a project for downtown Middletown.
We had heard that they weren't, but, we definitely.
I understand there's a project. I don't know what the elements of the project are. And I would imagine, depending on the limits, they would be installing crosswalks with rapid flashing beacons, rapid rectangular flashing beacons, as part of their, what they refer to as a complete streets project.
So is that in works?
It is.
And
It's
what
probably in the
timeframe?
plan. I'm uncertain.
Okay.
It's a Caltrans project, so I'm not familiar with it.
How do we contact Caltrans?
Excuse me, if I can have a mic. Thank you.
No, I'm not interrupting. I'm answering your question. We have Caltrans will be coming, and I've stated this before at previous meetings. Caltrans will be coming and giving an update on the project. And yes, that project will include flashing and improvements to the crosswalks in the downtown Middletown area. Thank you.
All right, so Highway 175 and Bush Street, if that's a crossing there of 175.
Unmarked crossing. So there's a sidewalk on one side that is, in our parlance anyway, an unmarked cross.
So again, that's a Caltrans project because it crosses over 175. The stop signs, so where that is at, there was an engineer who was previously here who started an engineering study of the stop signs. However, he did not complete it. And I do not have any stamped traffic engineering plans.
Could we go, with what he did complete? In other words, is there some improvement that we can see? I did see a new stop sign show up over at Caliumi, which was new. But we've got other, major intersections off the highways in downtown Middletown. There are no stop signs at all.
So
Do you understand that? I mean, no stop signs, major intersections. You know what people do when they see this? They're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
So it's really,
Yeah.
it's
So
been 5 years since we've asked for it.
right, and I've been here one. So I am preparing an RFQ for traffic engineers and transportation engineers, and once we hire a traffic and transportation engineering firm, they can perform the studies, the stop sign studies.
Can we just put a stop sign up there on one side and then do the studies and change them if necessary?
No,
Because
they're Caltrans requirements.
Can't debate it.
Yeah.
So again, as far as just for proper etiquette with our speaker here, that if you come up and you ask a question and let him answer, but don't take over the entire time. So in speaking, ask your question and then please go ahead and be seated, get the answer. If you have another question, come on up to the mic, okay? So let's give Mr. March an opportunity to answer the question and not debate or argue. Thank you.
Hey, Monica, you can sit here if you want, and I'll go over there. Okay. I'm going to wait till you finish your
I think there was a fourth.
you mentioned the local safety, I think was the last thing you were talking
Local road safety plan. That's going to come in the fall, seeking public input. Lake APC work product. The county will be giving input. Clear Lake will be giving input. Lakeport will be giving input. And the public has the opportunity to give input. I intend to have my staff look through this TIMS database and do an extensive research and identify projects that we believe that will decrease the likelihood of people getting hurt. So, yeah.
Open for questions now, or?
Sure, you can.
Tom Lasik. Couple things. One is Supervisor Owen, to sort of address what Ms. Bona was concerned about. There is the possibility of it having an emergency ordinance for safety purposes, and I can send you a draft ordinance for that, so that a stop sign or a crosswalk or something that's clearly a safety issue can be worked on while the study is being done. Okay, there is that possibility. So that might give Director Marsh some air cover so he's not constantly getting beat up over the same things. Okay. The other thing I just want to talk about, because I was at the Board of Supervisors meeting, and it's about the taxes. A long time ago in a forward galaxy, far, far away, we had gas taxes starting in the 1920s. And it's grown to what it is now because the gas tax, the miles you drove, or the amount, let me rephrase, the number of gallons you put in your tank was a really good proxy for the miles that you drove, which was a really good proxy for the amount of wear and tear that you, as a driver, were putting on the roads that need to be repaired, upgraded, fixed. And as you pointed out, it's no longer a good proxy anymore, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. I'll remind the audience here that by 2035, the California goal is zero emissions for vehicles. So in theory, you wouldn't even be stopping at a gas station anymore to tank up. And just for the concern about the tribal stations, I just did a Google search not too long ago. Apparently there's only 23 tribal stations in the entire state. So they are a teeny, teeny, tiny fraction of the overall issue. And it's not just a local issue. It's not just a California issue. It's also a national issue. The other issue that you mentioned was the efficiency. And it's not just electric vehicles. Since 1973 or thereabouts, the corporate average fleet efficiency laws came into effect. Back then, the average vehicle was less than 20 miles per gallon. Now it's over 60. So you stop less at the gas station. And the other sort of unintended consequences, because you can drive at less cost, you drive more, putting even more wear and tear on the road. So this model that we've had over the course of generations is failing us, and we're seeing that in real time with our roads. So you do need to consider a different model, because the gas proxy model that worked really well for 50 years isn't working anymore. And as Mr. Marsh has pointed out, and as Supervisor Owen has pointed out, it's a real problem. So I just wanted to point that out, that whether you like sales taxes or whatever, we have to find a different way, because gas taxes won't work.
Can I add to that? I've done some research, and Lake County has the lowest sales tax I think in the state of California.
Yeah.
And Napa sales, ours is currently 7.25%. Santa Rosa is 9.25%. Napa is 7.75%. And Vallejo, I believe, is 9.25%. So 1 cent is going to bring us even with some of the other, because most of us have to shop in Santa Rosa or Napa.
Okay,
so we're paying that.
Again, I need to redirect this. We have Mr. Glenn Mart here making a presentation today. And what I'd like to do is to focus on what that department, what the Public Works Department is doing here in the county, and direct our questions to Mr. Mart. If we would like to put this on as an agenda item for us to hold a discussion and have our own conversation, then we can put that on a future agenda item. Okay? So, but for now, let's focus our attention on the business from the Public Works Department in the County of Lake. Thank you.
So just to close, I do support the tax. I support what Marcia's doing there. I encourage us to educate each other on the issue. Thanks.
I won't pontificate. I'll just ask you a question. Have you seen the plan for downtown Middletown improvement?
No,
Plans?
I saw it one time at a presentation here.
I beg your pardon?
It was part of a presentation here about a year ago when I was last here.
But you haven't seen the drawings?
No.
Or anything. Will you have any input from the county standpoint? I know Caltrans has jurisdiction, but they're subject to listen to the county on cross streets and things like that. Will you have time to have input in that?
I will, yes. I will make the time.
Do you have any kind of a timeline from them at all?
No, I do not. I can
Okay.
inquire.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. March?
Yes, ma'am.
I have talked to some of the people here, not very many, but a few, and I know that one of the projects that's on your list that you have mentioned to me is the replacement of the St. Helena Creek Bridge. There, the historic, it was built in 1908. And we had a couple of things that were brought up to me after we had talked about it. And I don't know when would be a proper time to bring this forward, so I'm just going to throw it out there. One of them was they wanted to keep the original plaque that's on the bridge and put it beside. Another person said, would it be possible to leave that bridge in place as rock walking and bicycling?
No.
No? Okay. So we still want a piece of that rock. That's our thought.
We'll deliver it to your house.
Hi, I'm Zoe Bersisco. I have a question about, it says here on the agenda that how to turn road concerns into projects. And so if you currently have a sewer or water that goes to residential down the middle of a road and it's an unmaintained county road, how do you turn that into a maintained county road at least twice a year?
So there is a community service area. That's what you would have to create. That would be created by a vote of the residents along the road. And the residents would have to pay property tax, incremental property tax for maintenance, and they'd have to pay a one-time fee to bring the road up to county standards.
Whoa, that's huge.
It is.
Okay, are there grants out there that we can look at as a county to help, people in the areas that live on these roads that the county decides to put sewer down it and then they don't maintain it, the road's tore up, it's dirt, it's potholes, and accessible vehicles, for people that are handicapped, can't get down the road. It's
It's difficult. I'm not aware of any grants
okay.
To address that. So
Okay, so I need to try to find that paperwork. Where would I find that to start that process?
it's on the Public Works website, community service area.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I have a quick add-on to that. With them putting the sewer lines in, do they have any repercussion to have the district maintain them at all? Because they had actually tore up the original roads that were there, and now they're in worse shape and they're deteriorating. The sewer line was actually going out to the geysers, or it goes to the geysers actually. So it's part of the effluent line, right? Am I correct on that? I think you are. I think I am. I think I am.
So are we talking about the road that was recently graded?
No,
And-
this
and-
is this is in around, what's the name of the roads? It's off Napa or Santa Barbara? So it's out 175. There's some houses off to the right across from the 100-acre park.
Okay.
And those roads, some of those roads are unpaved, and they put sewer line through them. And now the residents there are stuck with the unmaintained roads. Is there any place that they can go to get some help with that?
I would go to the agency that put in the sewer, and that may be an alternative.
So that'd be special districts.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening, Margot Kambara. I have a quick question for you, Mr. Marsh. The subject is a potential sales tax for road improvements. As part of your study, you mentioned you would be bringing a package of other things for funding for roads to the Board of Supervisors. Just for clarification, is that also going to include the possibility of piggybacking on the TOT, the temporary occupancy tax?
Those are two separate items. So I think they'd have to be considered separately by the board. So I just have a small portion of that, which is just to do an initial study. It's not to perform any polling. It's just to find out how much revenue we could get in the opportunities for grants.
Margot, can I speak to that really quick? I had asked him about that, the TOT tax, in the lobby before the meeting, and looking at actually going that way rather than a sales tax. And we would not qualify for the grants that we will qualify for with the sales tax. Oh, that's an idea.
I just don't like sitting over there. I got a couple questions. I'll throw them back both at you and let you go. Can an average citizen just go out and fix their own damn pothole? Is that going to be a problem? Is there any rule that's being broken? I mean, God forbid that I ever did it. And it seems like an easier situation than waiting for a guy from the county to come up with a truck, throw some black stuff on there in a bag that looks like I could buy, and then take his truck and run over it 3 times and then leave the neighborhood and said I fixed a pothole. Is that something you can do? Is there any kind of like citizen movement for that? And I'm gonna throw another one at you. Has anyone asked the tribes if they would want to contribute to some of the road stuff before we have to go on and do this? It sounds like, you know, it's a win-win for them, you know. So those are 2 questions I got. Yeah.
So to do repairs within the public right-of-way, you would need an encroachment permit? So, yeah.
Okay.
So if you get run over by the guy who's trying to patch the pothole.
So what you don't know don't hurt you.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Yeah, it just it seems like it's just crazy to rely on the government to do something that, you know, a 25-pound bag of black stuff can do.
Yeah.
So it might be a informal suggestion. Don't call me if you get hit by a car.
Just so you know, in the next 2 months, I'm starting a dedicated road complaint crew for our team. So they will be addressing road complaints year-round, and So I'm hoping that helps with numerous issues.
And Helen, maybe you can answer the other question. Has anybody asked the tribes if they want to contribute to the road fund?
I have not.
Okay, well, it might be something worth doing. I know that they get special federal money, and Moak, before he left, he came to this meeting and said that he is going to ask the feds to put the circle in front of the casino to stop the accidents and everything going there. So it seems like there is money out there if we all communicate.
All of that has changed though.
You mean politicians say things?
There's a lot of funding has been taken away.
Okay, all right. All right, Lisa, you started.
You said, I'm sorry, Zoe Francisco again. You said that there's a road complaint committee that you're going to be putting together?
No, I would not want to. I would not want to start that group or committee. No, I am starting a crew within our road department that will be 100% dedicated to road complaints.
Okay. How do we find out how to approach that crew?
So we have a road complaints web page where you can input road complaints.
All right, thank you. Thank you. And that's on the county website?
Yeah. I think we had, just put in perspective, at the end of last year, we had 700 complaints, 722, I think.
So I'm piggybacking on the gentleman's question about if you're trying to fix your road. So it's about a half a mile long, and I have a tractor, and I have access to material. Can I just work on my own road? What happens if the county finds out that I've been grading a county road that's unmaintained? At the end of a road.
Is it a so it depends. Yeah.
No traffic. Residential.
I would have to understand whether it's a public road, a public access easement, or a county roadway easement, or a county maintained road.
Sacramento Avenue in Middletown. I'll try to look it up.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I'm Tanya Streetick, and I was just wondering, and I know even though we're not going to really discuss the sales tax, I was just curious, if we did vote, would that be a countywide sales tax, and would the cities of Clear Lake and Lakeport be exempt? And since they're already paying a higher sales tax, would they not likely vote for it? Because they're not going to see any, benefit from it? Has that been discussed at all? Thanks.
My understanding is only people in the unincorporated area would vote.
But would the sales tax go up just for the unincorporated areas, or would it also go up for Clear Lake and Lakeport?
Just the unincorporated areas.
Thank you.
The two cities already have their sales tax for roads.
That doesn't make sense. I gotta ask a question.
Uh-oh.
That doesn't make sense.
What's that?
That the unincorporated areas are going to be taxed, and the incorporated areas already have their tax, but their tax does not fix the roads that everyone uses.
They fix the roads in their
No, they
cities.
fix their roads inside their jurisdiction.
Correct.
They don't fix any of the roads outside that this set-aside money would be used for. So we would be paying for all the roads except the improvement of the roads, except downtown Lakeport and downtown Clear Lake, and they wouldn't pay anything in for this fee. I think and by the way, is the sales tax only on gasoline or on everything?
Everything.
Everything.
Sales tax.
Well, I can tell you this. I've been here a long time. When I came here, I didn't have any white hair. And I can tell you, you will never tax your way out of the problems that Lake County has. They've tried to tax us 3-4 years ago, and then 10 years ago, and then 15 years ago. They can't get a tax passed.
Correct.
Because this is not a affluent community or county. If you're going to raise money to fix roads and fix infrastructure and take care of our county employees and give them the things they need, you have to grow. You have to grow the communities. You cannot continue to have the same level of growth, and meanwhile the county cost, because of inflation, raises, retirements, continue to go up. It won't work. You've got to increase your income. You cannot tax your way out of this problem, in my opinion. I'm not opposed to the tax, but I'm just saying that that is a very short-sighted, and you did say short-sighted, solution. I don't think it'd be a solution at all, because I don't think we can get it passed. But we've got to grow our way out of this. You know, people say we need more businesses. No, we don't need more businesses. We need more customers. We need more rooftops. Okay.
But you're working on the Valley Oaks project, and thank you very much for
I said that
doing.
15 years ago before
I know.
Valley Oaks.
Yes.
I said the same thing.
I understand, and so it'd be great if we get Valley Oaks put in and we get some more housing. That would be awesome. What I would like to ask Mr. March, if you could, outside of the taxing, because that's a separate issue, but you addressed 4 different plans that you're working on now, you and APC and others or whatever. And could you just give a brief summary again of how we can help us with those 4 projects? There's 4 plans, I guess.
Yeah. So the hazard mitigation plan is an important plan. Hazard mitigation program grant is a large federal grant. What we need to do is review the list of projects that are listed in the multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan and see if we need to add projects. So one project that a new staff member identified was replacing our wooden bridges. So I will try to get that added to the plan in the next weeks. So in a fire, wooden bridges would be destroyed quicker than the concrete bridges. There was a secondary access bridge up in Spring Valley that was in the 2022 plan or 23 plan. It's been eliminated. I will try to get that project back on the list. So there are other projects that you may think of that should be added. So
You're starting the Morgan Valley project too, the planning on that, as anybody that knows that road is completely failing. So he's got his hands full with that as well.
So currently, the Department of Public Works is handling about 50 projects amongst 5 people. So it's tremendous workload for the staff of the engineering department. The RTP and the A.T., the active transportation plan, input is being sought right now by the Lake APC. I'm going to include the projects. What I intend to do is the projects that the Public Works Department identifies. We are going to draft a letter for the chairman of the board to send to Lake APC and recommend that they be included in the plans. That is the appropriate thing for me to do. The active transportation plan, if you can think of any pedestrian bicycle projects in the area that you think are appropriate that could be added to the plan, please add it to the Lake APC website, or you can communicate it to me. The local road safety plan update, which will be this fall. I'm having staff already review the TIMS data, the traffic incident management system data, I think that's what it's called. And we'll be prepared to provide input this fall on that. And
And the TIMS does not include the state highways, just the
it
county roads,
It
correct?
includes everything.
Oh, it does,
You get
okay.
to choose. You get to choose what you want to see on the map. Anything else? Am I good? Uh-oh.
Yes. And how does all of this that you've presented to us today relate to the 10-year plan that was developed by your predecessor, I believe?
For the pavement management plan?
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, so the pavement management plan is a plan that was developed to identify roads to rehabilitate on a schedule to get to the 40 or 50 PCI, pavement condition index. That only had to do with road rehabilitation, not a sidewalk, not a curb, not a gutter, just rehabilitating the pavement. So these other projects, I like ATP projects because when you do your improvement, normally you include redoing the whole entire road. So that is an opportunity to get additional funding for road rehabilitation with improvements. So anytime we can get grant funds, we want to spend them on redoing our roads and, you know.
Can you hear me?
Am I running out of time?
Just a quick, what was the name of that plan again?
Which, there's 4.
No, the one, the one you just, the 10-year plan.
Pavement management plan. So that pavement management plan is available on the Lake APC website. There's a pavement management plan for the county and each of the cities. They're updated every 4 years. So we will likely update ours in 2020, late 2026, early 2027.
Any other questions for Mr. March? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Okay, next item on our agenda is hopefully to approve the bylaws. So there's one issue I'd like to address because there was a recommendation at our last meeting to include for grievance, for a complaint to be sent via certified mail. And unfortunately, we do not have a P.O. box. We do not have a mailing address to send certified mail to. So therefore, we're not including that. And it's basically just over the time things have changed. We don't receive any mail via the post office. We basically have, in the last 3 years or 2 years or so, we've only received junk mail. All of our mail comes in via email. So with that,
Copies of bylaws here?
no, they were mailed. So it is the same as we looked at the last meeting. There have been no changes made since the last meeting. So I would entertain comments or questions about the bylaws or a motion.
Are we proposing to possibly remove the requirement for grievances to be sent by mail and maybe just have that sent
It's
via
not
email?
in there
Oh, it's not
now.
in there. Oh, gotcha.
It's not in the proposed draft.
What page and section are you talking about directly?
It was in the former bylaws, not the ones, the draft.
I think she's talking this. Can you tell us, it's in the form, but are you talking about section 7, or is there something else you're talking about? I think there's more than one, isn't there?
It's a grievance.
The grievances, okay. Then I was right, yeah, go back to where I was at. It's about the grievances, it's where I was at. Go all the way, keep going, there you go. Is that section 6 or section 7?
It's on page 6. It's on the last
Okay.
page.
Yeah, that's page, yeah, okay, page 6, that's it right there.
Section 2.
It's on the last page, section 2, grievance.
Section 2, paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 indicates that, 4, that the certified letter stating that they are no longer a member of the M.A.T.H board, that's in the bylaws now. You had to put one in or take this out. Because you said we can't have certified mail.
I'm sorry, so we need you on a mic. Where's the mic?
You got a mic.
I got a mic.
Okay.
Okay.
And I,
The question is, if we can't have certified mail, then we have to change a paragraph, the last paragraph of section 2, where it says, or, let's see, where, the action taken to remove a board member, then the board member must be sent a notice by certified letter stating that they are no longer a member of the M.A.T.H board.
Well, that's from the board.
then the board member must be sent. So.
Certified mail.
Yes.
You said we can't send certified
Okay.
mail.
We
No, we
can't,
can't receive certified
we
mail.
can't, the M.A.T.H board cannot receive certified mail. But if, let's say, for instance, as there has been, a grievance against me. So if the committee or if the body found that I was at fault and I should be removed from the board, then the board would send, the body would direct the board to send a certified mail letter to me saying, Monica, bye. Okay? So that's what that says. But we just can't have somebody who's filing a grievance, they have no place to send a certified letter to file the grievance. The grievances would be filed by email, would be accepted by this board. Hopefully, it would be directed to the secretary, as the secretary receives all correspondence for this body.
Just for a second, please. I would suggest then that the person, if someone wants to make a complaint and they can't send a certified letter, that they have to present themselves to the meeting and make it in person. Because otherwise, it'll be, you sent it, no, I didn't send it, you did, no, yes, no, back and forth. And I think it's going to create some problems. Why not just make them come and state their issues before this body and let the body decide?
As a suggestion, a verified email in return could satisfy the requirement.
Don't talk to me, she's the chairperson.
The verified email response could satisfy the certified mail requirement.
Yes.
Julie Vono suggested a verified email response from the Mass Secretary.
Thank you.
Has this been an issue? I don't think it's ever been an issue, is it? The issue that I thought with certified mail is the fact that somebody made a complaint, they sent it to a P.O. box that doesn't exist. That was the issue, wasn't it? Why is this so important?
That was an issue. I'm just saying it was.
We don't want to fire you, Monica. That's your hypothetical
Thank
doesn't
you.
work.
No, that's not the point.
No. No, we took a look at the bylaws, and there were a couple of suggestions made, and I only brought that up because I know that that was a suggestion that was made by Mr. Thornton to include, because that's been included in the past. However, that's what I'm explaining now, is that's the problem with it. We can no longer include that requirement for somebody who wants to file a grievance to send a certified letter, because we're not supplying, we do not have a P.O. box for anybody to forward that information to. So by email should be fine, I would hope, and I would say that also in the past, and I think that Mr. Thornton can back me up on this, is how long has, how long has M.A.T.H been, we were founded in 2000.
2006.
Yeah, 2006. And our first bylaws were adopted in 2007. Since then, we've had maybe 3 complaints, 2 of which have been from the same person more recently, but it hasn't been an issue, and I would hope that we could get past this and it wouldn't be an issue in the future. So, any other comments?
Yes.
Of course.
I would like to state that the removal of Middletown proper's guaranteed 2 representatives on the M.A.T.H board in the proposed new bylaws is vehemently opposed by a petition with over 50 verified signatures. Removing that guarantee will prompt the creation of a new advisory council to represent Middletown. I recommend that these bylaws be voted down and that they be amended to remove that, or to restore the clause that guarantees Middletown proper's 2 representatives on the M.A.T.H board. Furthermore, there are, as I spoke at the last meeting, there were a number of, statements made about disruptive activity. A lot of these activities are actually First Amendment protected activities. You are going directly against the Constitution of the United States by making these requirements and expectations of people. This is eliminating the possibility of constructive activism that has been going on for probably the last century. This is absolutely not appropriate for a government body. Finally, if Middletown the representation of Middletown is removed, that will essentially, and the current board does not reflect the current bylaws. So the current bylaws guarantee Middletown proper 2 representatives on the board. There are not 2 people on this board that represent Middletown. This board is currently in violation. The reason they're trying to change the bylaws is to justify their current violation. That's not okay. That's okay. The rules were never followed. And we have one person who said she was previously an at-large candidate, and now she's pretending to be a Middletown candidate. I think Middletown needs its representation. We are being taxed without being represented. That's serious. That was the cause of a major revolution, you might remember.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is on topic matters. It is a 2-minute
I'm going to be brief.
comment. Thank you.
The problem about bylaws and Middletown proper, by the way, you didn't listen to me at all, is that the county, even though we have amended the bylaws and forwarded them to the county 6 or 7 times, if you go on the website, you'll find that the original bylaws are still recorded at the county, which says Middletown proper, but the bylaws have been changed 6 or 7 times. The county just didn't update it. So it's the county's problem. It's not this. You've done everything you can do. The thing to remember is you can do anything with the bylaws this body wants to do as long as you don't violate the Constitution, which the bylaws represent. So that's the problem. The county has to take our updated bylaws and record them.
Yes.
So that
So-
she doesn't think there's a Middletown proper.
Correct. And so if we can get a motion to approve these bylaws as presented at the last meeting, what we had to do was present the bylaws at the last meeting and then allow 30 days for consideration. If we can, we've made no major changes to these bylaws as presented 30 days ago. If we could get a motion to approve or reject, then what happens in the process now, which may not have been so when M.A.T.H was formed, but this is the process today, is that these bylaws have to be then approved. We have the county administrator is on standby, ready to receive these. If they're approved by this body, they will put them on the Board of Supervisors' agenda for the next meeting. And then the Board of Supervisors basically has to approve our bylaws in order for them to be updated on the website.
I hope what you say is true. By that, I'll make a motion to approve the bylaws as recommended by the board.
Thank you. Do I have a
Helen.
second? There's a motion on the table?
No, I'm against. Monica, the point is, okay, and I hate to make this into the Julius Circus, the point is,
On the floor, we got to either second it or pass it.
There is a second.
I'm against it, okay, so that's my point.
Okay. Second, so we have a first and we have a second.
now we
Thank
can
you.
Okay, my point is this, okay, we got page 6 and 7, okay? And that's fine, but basically, what started all this has nothing to do with the potty mouth and all the other stuff. That stuff's gonna happen anyway. My point is, we need to say, okay, at large or Middletown doesn't matter. Is that what we're doing? Are we passing two things at once? Are we separating the two?
Do you have a copy of the bylaws?
Okay,
Did you-
tell me exactly which line you're talking about that's
Okay,
gonna
on
fix the
page
problem
2?
that Julia brings up every single
On
week.
page 2 of the bylaws,
Okay.
it has
page
terms
2.
of office, staggered, odd, or even. It talks about board member seat, and it is now described as board member seat 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The board seats are not descriptive of being in any specified area. They are just board seats 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, voted on. 3 seats are voted on in even years, 2 seats are voted on in odd years. And there are 2 alternate members that are also elected in. The alternates serve for 1-year term. The other board members in the various seats serve for a 2-year term.
That has passed and is not part of this motion.
Fletcher.
No, it didn't pass. We never took a vote on it
Outside
last
open
time.
discussion.
We did not take a vote on
Everybody's
that.
got the vote.
We did not take, Fletcher, we didn't take a vote on it. I'm all for passing it, but also we got Article 7, page 6 and 7 that we've developed also as a result of these meetings talking about this. All I want is to never have to talk about it again and never change these darn bylaws.
Exactly. So page 6 page 5 is the only additional page. The other pages and content of the bylaws is basically similar to the bylaws that have served this body since its inception. The only thing that your chair and vice chair did, working together as a committee, is to remove redundancy and to clean up some of the copy. But yes, page number 5 for meeting decorum was added, but the grievance content on page 6 is the same, with the exception of taking out the need for somebody who's filing a complaint to have to send it certified mail because we have no P.O. box.
Okay. So the decorum, that whole section on decorum that we set up because of the situation.
That was added at the advice of county council and our supervisor.
Did anybody vote on that?
We presented this
We
at the
presented it
meeting.
last week, but we did not pass it.
Well, no, we did not pass it.
Okay, good.
The process is that we present the bylaws, we discuss them last month at the meeting, and then we allow it to sit for 30 days. So for hopefully during that 30-day period, that people have reviewed the bylaws that were sent out last month and discussed at last month's meeting. And then they should be ready to come today to make a decision on the bylaws and/or make recommendations to change for additional changes, in which case, then we hold up approval of the bylaws once again, and we consider it, and we'll talk about it again at the next meeting. So there you go.
Okay.
Whatever you want in the process.
If we've solved that whole problem with Middletown proper and not, that's fine.
It's on
Okay?
page 2.
On page 2, that's okay. All right. Now, this vote we just took was just on page 2. We're not talking about page 5 and 6, right?
We're talking about the entire packet of bylaws, page
Oh, okay.
1 through 6.
All right, so you're including both of them. Okay, I'll vote. My point is, pages 5 and 6 are going to create a lot of headaches, and all we're going to do is try to enforce childish little laws,
Okay.
and we're going to turn this into a kindergarten circus.
Page-
Okay, well, you're going to be sitting there every week saying, "You shut up. You go to the microphone. You go here. You go there." That isn't going to work, Monica. We got to be able to have these people express themselves, and the people are going to get sick of that crap. Okay. So
Okay,
pages
well,
5 and 6, I would say, okay, pass it. But we're going to end up having to change it, and I know I'm right about this, okay? And I don't like the fact that you put this crap on the table, and I don't even know anything about it till I get up here. I feel like the village idiot, okay? This needs to be looked at much more openly, because people do get emotional about this crap, all right?
I see that.
That's done.
I
All
see
right?
that, Charlie.
All right, so
Again,
page 5 and 6,
This-
go ahead and pass it and see what problems come along. I'm just going to say, look at Monica.
This came out last month.
I know, and I said it was a bad idea then, and I'm saying it's a worse idea now.
Well, you didn't offer corrective criticism.
I did too. I stood up there and did it because you weren't listening when you were sitting over there.
Come on.
I offered corrective criticism.
Okay, so we have a first. We have a
Speak
first.
for a moment, please.
You have a-
No, you don't have the floor, okay? We're still, the board is discussing this. When we get an open mic, we will let you talk on the mic. Okay, right now, it's still being discussed here. Now, Monica will call on people if what is going to be, I don't know where we are right now. If it wasn't voted on last month where everybody agreed and approved the changes as they were to come out, then that should be, to me, that should be the vote. Is to, okay, these are requested changes. If we approve these requested changes, then we'll bring back the agenda next month, and that's the way it's going to that's the way the rules are supposed to be written.
Thing, though, just quickly, very quickly. She's absolutely right. It was brought forth last month. We have 30 days to talk about it,
Yes.
or think about it. Bring it here, get a motion to approve or not approve, discuss it, and vote on it.
Okay, and
We have to have 30 days.
first of all, you're not up to the bike, and so this isn't getting on the record like it should be. But
Okay, so-
it's either approved or it's not approved, but it could come back for discussion again. So it can also be voted on to table for another meeting. But we need to know what we're tabling and what we're bringing up for approval at the next meeting. And that's what needs to be worked out, and that's what we thought we did the last meeting that I was here, which was not last month. I agree, because I was out for that. But the month before, we brought it up for discussion for everybody here, and we brought it up for a vote, and that's
What
the
we
way it was
did
approved.
is we fixed the problem that Julia had. And then we added a whole childish,
No,
two
no,
childish
no.
pages about how you're going to
We
act,
went-
how
we
you're going to
went over-
act like an adult and not be a little kid.
Charlie, we only
That's-
added one page.
One page.
One page.
One page, okay?
We added one page.
One page well, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, about 13 sentences that makes you more powerful and more controlling than you are already, Monica. It's going to be a bad situation for all of us, okay? I don't want to sit up here and be the village idiot, okay? I'm going to say this is wrong. Now, okay, let's all take a vote and do that, but, and just for the sake of not having to change these ever again, but these meetings are going to get more complicated with those questions. Because for years, we've had to deal with people who come up and they just say anything, and you let them say it, and they express themselves, and sometimes a good idea. Okay, you've got to weed out the forest from the trees sometimes. Okay, you know,
I'm not
that's
sure
that's
I
my
underst-
point. That's my point. Okay, that page was basically built for you, Monica.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was. It was. Okay, I'm all about shutting up Julia because of the Middletown having 2-seat thing. That's fine.
Supervisor Helen Owen, can you comment on this, please, and clarify whether this page was built for me? Sure. Where did page 5 come from?
You know what, Charlie, this has been forward for people to read for a while. So the vote should come forward, I believe, because we have the motion on the floor. It can be voted down, or it can be voted to keep. We've already heard from both sides, I believe, on it. So I think the mature thing to do is to take the legal vote and see where it is. If it doesn't pass, you can say we want some changes. If it does pass, we're done with it. But let's stop the bickering, in my opinion.
Okay, let me just read these things since a lot of folks don't have it out there, okay? All right, this is going to be in the bylaws, okay, from now on. Failing to comply with reasonable decorum and standards. Now, it's whoever's sitting over there.
I'm sorry, I'm going to excuse, I'm going to interrupt for just a moment.
Okay, go for
Okay? Because the other thing is we discussed last, I would suggest as far as, we do have a first and a second on the table. We can call for a vote, or we can just put this on the agenda for next month. We can spend an hour speaking about bylaws and go over this in detail. But right now it is 8:38. We also need to get out of here at 8:30. So that is 8 minutes ago. So I will be excusing myself in 5 minutes, and somebody else can take over the meeting if you guys want to spend the rest of the evening, and however, as long as Thomas would like to stay here.
We need to wrap this up. That's not an option. And some of this was actually put in, I had talked to county council about disruption in the meetings that makes it really difficult for everybody here. It's painful sitting here listening to children. So I had actually talked to county council and asked for some guidance on that and some language on it. You can take it in just one moment. I see your hand. But furthermore, we just need to go to the vote like we have done, and it can either be voted up or voted down. And once that vote is taken, you can decide if it's voted down that you can that we can bring it back later with any changes. But right now we have a motion and a second on the floor, so we need to conclude that.
Thank you. Lisa, you have a comment?
Well, I was going to suggest that we table it because it seems to me that everybody should have a copy, and we don't have that, and we're not projecting it, and it seems that there's issues, and
Okay, so how can we get people to, so to speak, do their homework? It's been sent out.
I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that from our point of view, and I'm speaking as a former board member, that it would be good to have written copies or to have it projected. That's a good thing to do. Also, this piece that Charlie's referring to may be better as a policy than as part of the bylaws.
Oh, we don't have policies.
And this was just
saying.
Thank you.
It's like there's no point in arguing so much. We're just trying to figure out ways to work together.
And that was the point. This was supposed to clear up a lot of this to make it more pleasant here. And we looked at what the Board of Supervisors have and what other people have, other boards have, to be able to keep people in check that are being disruptive.
I personally I love it when you guys are yelling at each other. That's what a town hall's about. It's not about organization and being this and that. I just read this, and it's not a bad deal, except that it doesn't say who makes the decision on who's going to go and when they can come back.
Exactly.
All
Exactly.
it says is they can be thrown out. Doesn't say who has to do it. Is it the body? Is it the board? Is it the chairperson? Who is it? So I'm gonna withdraw my motion to approve and go along with Ms. Kaplan. Don't applaud me. That just pisses me off. I'm going to go along with Kaplan's idea of tabling this and charging everybody to go and read this stuff. Because I tell you one thing, everybody says, no, you're wrong. Well, I was right about the certified letter. So we got to be clear and stop this arguing. So I moved the table. No discussion on a move the table.
And this was with last month's agenda.
There's already a motion on the floor, so we
I
cannot.
withdrew my motion.
He
and
withdrew the motion.
Okay.
And
He
I
withdrew
made
the
a
motion.
motion to table. There's no discussion. Call for the question.
Is there a second to table it? Okay, it's a second. Any further discussion about tabling this?
There can be no discussion on a motion to table.
Yeah, I've got one comment, nothing to do with this, but let's say we're closed with that, can I? I'm
What?
speaking for Thomas.
Is this bylaws?
No.
Okay, no, we're on bylaws. Excuse me. So, yes, Thomas needs to go home. So we need to close down at 8:30. We're like, it's 8:42 now. So anyway, so we're tabling this. All in favor of tabling?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so moved.
Do your homework, read it.
Thomas wants us to starting at 6:30, no later than 6:30, because he works all day.
Yeah, but we didn't really even have a vote. We had two
Never had a vote.
say
And listen,
no.
you guys are the latest meeting. You guys are never on time. I have been here every single time. You guys are never on time.
Only if you want Thomas here do we need to.
Well, it's not a matter of do you want Thomas here. I'm supposed to be here. I am here for the public, okay? Every time I come to your guys'
Thank you,
meetings,
Thomas.
okay? You guys, first of all, you never start on time and you never end on time. You guys are the latest meeting in all of the county. I'm willing to bend a little bit. We
Before
need to
you
start these
go,
meetings at 6:30.
Please stack your chairs.
I get it.
Please stack the chairs.
The county does not run this meeting.
Can I have, okay, so we have,
Motion to adjourn.
thank you. We
Okay.
will table the other items on the agenda as well.
And please stack the chairs, no higher than 10.